At Mount Rushmore in America, carved into the granite of the hillside, are the heads of 4 past American presidents. They're absolutely huge. Each one is about the size of a 5-story building. And this? Well, this isn't really anyone. It's certainly not a president. And it's not carved in granite, although it looks like it. It's not even carved in stone. And carving stone is made out of 2 main things. First of all, just ordinary old plaster of Paris, that white powder you can get in hardware stores. And secondly, vermiculite, which is a strange thing that nurseries use, and they sell it too, for potting plants. I'll show you. It's got a lot of mica in it, and it's very, very light and extraordinarily good at holding water, which is why it's used for potting plants. When you mix that up with the plaster and set it with water, it gives you the effect of stone, as you saw. Let's ditch that lot and finish off this batch. That's got plaster and vermiculite mixed, and I'm using about, I suppose, 2/3 vermiculite to 1/3 plaster. That's not a bad mix. We'll just add the last bit here, half a cup of plaster by volume, and then a full cup of vermiculite, and that'll finish the job. It's very, very light stuff, this too, so you can get a lot of carving stone that doesn't weigh a lot. There you are, that's the end of the mix, or the dry mix anyway. Puddle it round with a spoon and then start adding water. You should normally, with plaster, put the water in first and then add the plaster. Not easy to do with this, so you put the water in second, but stir it a lot as you go, otherwise it'll be hard to mix. It absorbs a terrific lot of water, and that's the vermiculite working. Here we go. Keep on stirring whatever you do. And that's about as much as I would want to do. It looks like breakfast cereal's been sogging in milk for about half a day. If it's any more runny than that, the vermiculite floats to the top. If it's any more solid, you can't mix it. So finish off by tapping the container, gets the air bubbles out, gets it nice and level, put it in a reasonably warm place if you've got one, and leave it for an hour while it sets. After about an hour, it'll be set, but it won't be dry. In fact, it won't dry out for days, and that's to your advantage. I'll empty it out down on the bricks here, you can see. What you've got there is a block of carving stone. And the surface is all very smooth, but if you carve into it, you can see that stony finish. Here we go, like that. There we are, that's the sort of finish we want. Now that's a mix of 2/3 vermiculite to 1/3 plaster. If you use too much vermiculite, and this is about 3/4, maybe not be too much, but it's about on the borderline. You can see that that is very crumbly indeed, and as you cut it, it can flake apart. It's not too bad, but it's a bit dicey. The other side is if you use too much plaster, and it'll be whiter, but it'll be hard to cut, very brittle, chips away, and it's not easy to work. So about 2/3 to 3/4 vermiculite is the stuff. What do you cut it with? Well, it's very much like soap carving. You can use a blunt table knife if you like, and that shapes it quite well. And when you get to the more intricate bits, use, well, I like to use my pocket knife. It's not a very sharp blade, so it doesn't endanger me, but it's got a sharp point, so I can scratch away and get designs out of it, like that. And because you're working while it's wet, but set, it doesn't create dust, and it's fairly easy to shape the whole thing. Well, that's how I did the original carving that I showed you. There it is. That's 2/3 vermiculite, 1/3 plaster. It's dried for a couple of days, so you can see it's a bit firmer, but it shaves very well, like that. And for trimming it, you can cut it with a knife. It doesn't crumble, and it doesn't shatter, and it's firm enough to take the point, so that I can work detail in with things like the eyebrows and down beside the nose and lines and things. This is absolutely great stuff for practicing carving. It looks like the real thing, but it's much easier to work. It's great for model railways, and really it's fun to do just for the interest of the thing.